my channel. It's your girl Nilsa, and if you haven't seen me, I'm excited to see you and sit along for this journey of mine. So today we're going to be talking about success and all the good things of life that you need to just live a luxury lifestyle, because we deserve that. We need that. And whatever meaning that means to you. But for me, we're going to start off with the podcast Jay on purpose. I love watching Jay. He's just good. He just brings the things that we need in life, because we need informations like that to elevate ourselves to greater things in life, to just move from the things that don't serve us no more, understand the human species in a way. Okay, so yeah, first we're going to start off with success framework. So human life, and she's basically just saying, like, we all have problems. Like, every human has problems in our own ways. Like, we all deal with things. We're all trying to figure out things. We're trying to figure out exactly where we stand so that we can live a life that really feels like ours. And I really love that, because, like, I feel like sometimes in the society we want to act like we're not facing things, or like it's there but like not many people want to talk about it. And that's how things end up getting really dangerous, because it's just like, for someone to hold a space for you to talk about something is important, because we all need to feel that. We all need to feel secure in a way. And sometimes it might not be from a parent, it might not be from, you just have to find that person. And sometimes it just automatically happens, and you just have to let it happen, because like it's such a great experience. Like, even though sometimes, like, just like healing is so chaotic, but there's a beautiness in the process. And just to really settle in that and thrive in that spirit, it's something good, because it's just like, just to feel like you again, honestly. Not who someone tried to mold you to be, you, like the person you intended to always be, the person you choose to be every day. What kind of habits are you picking up to elevate your life? What kind of traits are you still continuing also for your life? It could be bad or good. Then, like, it gets into it, because like, right, we feel like we're in this race. Like, we have to, like, everything has a certain age. Like, oh, like when you're 23 you should be here, you should. No, everyone has a different structure, everyone has a different system. Not everyone is the same. Even if we're in this, like, even if we have the same goals and same paths, our support system is different, our resources are different, so our paths are not going to be automatically the same. You know what I mean? So it's just like the experience within that really makes us us, because it's like anyone can have an experience, but no one can have an experience that you had. And I really think that's the gift, because like that's just you. Like, no one can take that. Like, that's you. You have to get deep into it and figure out exactly where things are coming from. Where are your habits coming from? Where did you pick this up in your child? Because it is that deep. We need to stop acting like this is not deep. It's deep. Okay, all the things that happen in our childhood tend to affect us growing up. All the rejection, when you don't understand all those things, like, it tends to affect you growing up. And that's why it's so good to unpeel those layers and really figure out what's going on within you, because some of those things have nothing to do with you. You just adapted to an environment, and you just picked it up and you kept going, and you just kept going. That was it. After you was living was nothing about you. It was a survival instinct that carried you through that environment. So you have to adapt into the person that you want to be for yourself, not for someone who was conditioning you or all those things. And I feel like those things are really important, because I feel like that's the core of it all. Really, to just go deep into your childhood and figure out what happened, this and that, because I'm telling you, it is deep for someone who's 23 years old. And honestly, I'll be real, I've taken a lot of time to get to know myself and really, like, see why do I act the way that I do. And I'm still in the process of it, because like that was made between these parents, and like they basically had a separation, and the kid went with one parent, and like it wasn't what it was. It was like the condition and the trauma did this and that, like it was all building up, and I didn't really have any support, so I just felt so alone. And I was like constantly in this loop, like, oh my god, I'm so lonely, this and that, like, why is no one ever there for me? But then after, when I started to understand it, I was just really letting it, like, just cool down. Like, I started to, like, not let my thoughts get over me, like constantly ruminating and just being on that loop of trying to figure out and solve the problem. Some things just happen, some things literally just happen. You learn from it while you're in it, and once you leave the situation, you see the bigger picture and you understand it, and you act accordingly to the decisions you want to make, because you know you better than anyone knows you. You know, the good times, you know, the bad times, you know, the times that you cry yourself to sleep, you know, all those days, you know, you really getting to know yourself and experiencing the beauty of you. Because like I said, there is layers that we have put on top of ourselves because we was conditioned to, but we can also remove those layers. That's where like the brain comes, because honestly the brain is so powerful. Because like the fact that the brain is like neuroplastic, it's really like, you can always rewire your thoughts, you can always fix anything. You don't have to stay stuck, you don't have to, because constantly things are always moving, they're not going to stop. So it's just like once you stop learning, you're done. You are left at that timeline, and that's it. You're still living in that timeline, you're still reacting to that timeline. You have to snap out of it. You have to rewire your brain so that you can live in the timeline that you want. Life is basically a timeline. When you're given life, it's a timeline. You start and finish when you're a kid and all the way till you're dead. Within that thing is just the experience, like what you're experiencing. You remember like we used to have like this thing that used to be like this, and it used to have like all the pictures. Literally that's what life is. Because a beginning and an experience. And within that experience, within that journey, it's so frustrating, because it's like when you don't have the right knowledge and you don't have the right understanding, you can fall into a hole that you was never meant to fall into. And that's why you always have to be comfortable to change. You can never settle down. You can never limit yourself to certain things. You can limit yourself to certain things you don't like, but you never limit yourself to the type of knowledge you can get in this world. Never. Constantly learning, constantly upgrading. That's what we need as humans. And sometimes words hit deep, you know, and that's where you go and you sit with yourself and you really like think about it, because it's like, it's not even about me. This is not even about me. These are just their insecurities. These are just the insecurities that was put up onto them, and they're giving it as advice, but I didn't take it as advice. No one gave me a blueprint. No one helped me figure out like what was going on with me. It was always like, bro, like you're such a problem. Like you're such a problem. That's how it always was. So like once I'm like, okay, I'm the problem. I'm about to solve it. No bullshit. I'm about to solve it. Whole time I was the equation. Y'all was the problem. Head up. Nah, but it's because it's like, I'm not the problem. Dead ass, I'm not. How can I be the problem and I wasn't the start of it? You know? But just going deeper into that and really figuring out again, why do you have certain habits? Why do you do the certain things that you do? Why do you react to certain things that you react? Why do you let certain things hurt you more than it's supposed to hurt you? Why? It's because that inner child needed those certain habits, those certain healthy conditionings, so that it can upgrade in its life. Not be stuck mentally in a loop thinking of trying to find answers of like, what is the answer? What is the answer? Like, I gotta, like, you know, like just running around loose, you know? So, and I feel like that's why also we need to start talking about kids, because I don't know why the world is just letting anyone have kids, because kids are such a gift, like, and they're not really getting taken care of, like they're not really getting taken care of, so that affects them in their life. Like, I don't know, but they was talking about that the suicide rate is high as hell. And it's just like, because people are not being understood, people are getting dismissed, people are getting shut down, people are getting burned out, people have no more options. You know what I mean? People don't know how to ask for help. And that's the scariest thing. The scariest thing for me is to have somebody who's close with me and they just leave this earth because of my lack of awareness of helping them. Or damn, I didn't even create a space for them to talk to me. You know what I mean? That's me personally. That's why I take friendships and everything so serious, because it is that deep. It is that deep to me. Your mental health matters. Your opinion matters. Everything you say matters, because there's a reason why you're bringing it up. There's a reason why you're saying it. If it affects you in a certain way, you have to tell. We have to communicate. We have to learn to just really like settle down a bit and stop overthinking and just ask. All this thing of trying to like process, trying to ask just one question. No, knock that shit down. Knock it down. Just ask the question. You're embarrassed. Okay, you learn from the experience. It's just really just being. And I just want us to be like more like open with this experience of life. Like, bro, like, I don't know. Like, we as humans, we are so like we all have our own like world in our mind, and I feel like to share that is such a beautiful thing. But everyone should have their time to speak. Like, you know, no one should be get shut down because what they think, that's their perspective. Who are you to try to convince someone else for what they see? You know, who are you? Talking about what's the difference with the 1%, and she said the 1% keep going even if it starts being exciting. And to piggyback off that, girl, I've caught myself like I'll literally try to like start habits and then I won't do it. But I had to figure out, why do I keep starting habits and not finishing, like hobbies and not finishing them? But it's because, like, I don't know, maybe that little girl, she was just waiting for someone to just actually see her work, you know? Just to be seen, actually, the little girl. But the me, I see you, girl. I see you. Like, you know what I mean? It's just something like that. And you gotta be grateful for that, because you just gotta be grateful for you seeing yourself, you saving yourself, you know, you getting yourself out of any mess. You have to have a mindset of anything. You can overcome anything, because you can. If you have a mindset that you can overcome it, who said you can't? Who said you can't? Okay? It's like, and that to go back off, like, who said you can't do it? But it's like, that's really like people be just trying to install their fear into your brain. Like, that was you. That's not me. That's not what I believe in. We don't have to believe in the same things. That's fine, but respect me and I respect you. Sorry. And then to get into it, she was basically saying like relationships. And honestly, I'm in a stage right now where it's like fresh. Everything's like fresh. Like, you know what I mean? And like relationship, friendships, yo, that shit needs to be built. It needs to be built. Relationships need to be built. It needs to be learned. It needs to be watched, because you're coming together. You guys really don't know nothing about each other. You guys just know that, hey, we can come together. Like, you know what I mean? But you have to unravel that. You have to figure out, you have to do the work within that. And I think it's a beautiful process just to see like two brains coming together, trying to, you know, connect in so many different ways, because there's so many different things. You don't have to just categorize yourself in one thing. Hey guys, I'm making a little episode because, girl, I literally said I was gonna drop the video Tuesday and I was slacking. I was having fun. I was just experiencing life itself. So, you know, I got a little bit distracted, but I'm back here and I really want to talk about this because I was watching a video and it was talking about like the childhood. I'm actually gonna just be here with y'all and just actually show you guys what I'm talking about, because we need things like this. And using AI, she literally grabbed the words for me, and it's like, whoa, this is what I've been talking about this whole time, and I love that all for us. Okay, I was watching a video. It was called Trauma Expert: How to Rebuild Self-Identity After Years of Shame. Basically, like, girl, like when you're in your childhood, girl, that's where the shame is built, because you're surrounded by so many people want to put their input in your mind. Literally, it is the core of the childhood. But mind you, this is what she said. So what you're talking about is often called a family system blueprint, or sometimes a family of origin blueprint. It's like an unconscious map we carry from childhood based on how we relate to our parents or siblings. And yeah, it shapes a lot of how we show up in life. And I couldn't agree to this more, because like I said, I went through a lot of things in my childhood, and like I said, right now in this moment, it doesn't affect me as much as it used to affect me when I was still like wounded in a way or whatever it is. Because like the more you understand, it's like, again, it doesn't really affect you in a way because you have understanding towards it. Not that it necessarily didn't hurt you, but you have understanding towards it. Why did it happen? Why did certain things that happen? You know, because you as a child, you have no power. Adults have power. So that's what really helped me, like, clear my conscience. Actually, I'm gonna be real, because my conscience was really cluttered with so many things, like, oh my god, I'm not good enough, oh my god, this and that, like, where's my parents, like, what had happened to me, what had happened to the child, you know. That was the core, and I didn't want to believe all those things that was put upon me, because I always knew like I was meant for better. Like, I already knew something in me could not let me rest in that. Strong-minded, and you know that anything you do, you can't do. Okay, you gotta have a strong belief core of yourself. Like, girl, you gotta build that mindset. Like, no matter what in this timeline, I'm the creator, I'm the chooser, I'm me. I have full accountability over myself, and no one can control that, no one can take that. And I have full accountability to resolve problems that need to be resolved within communicating. okay? Not being shut down, not being neglected, not being ignored. Literally communication. Two humans coming in together and literally taking out their emotions and processing it. Because like I said, like literally basically anger is unprocessed. Just unprocessed. Process anger instead of reacting towards it. Anger is not the problem, unprocessed anger is. Step A, pause physically 10 to 30 seconds. Step B, ask yourself, what exactly felt disrespectful or unsafe? What story am I telling myself now? What boundary was crossed? Because sometimes, again, anger is just not the problem, it's unresolved. So, like, if you constantly been letting your parents like push your boundaries, do this and that, when you go out in the real world, you're gonna have troubles having setting those boundaries because you were so conditioned to someone overstepping your boundaries that you can't even have the vocal cords to be like, no, no, nah. It doesn't matter. It starts by the smallest thing. Step C, translating anger into clarity. Basically, I don't feel considered. Don't beat yourself up, okay? Don't beat yourself up. Just learn as you go and just be understanding to yourself. Don't really try to make anyone else understand you because no one else can understand you. No one knows you, okay? Nobody knows you as much as they think they do, they don't. The goal is staying regulated enough to understand myself clearly first. Understanding yourself, regulating your emotions, literally regulating your body. You can feel where you're tense inside. You can feel it. Understanding yourself because we all want to be understood, but none of us want to understand ourselves. I want to understand myself wholeheartedly because, man, I deserve that. Like, there's no, like, I just deserve that. And that should be that simple for me, and that is that. I shouldn't be trying to convince anybody. I shouldn't be trying to do nothing. The truth about outgrowing. So like once you literally are unraveling all that and you figure out what's the core of some of your beliefs, when you change, you're not going to be the same. So you're going to have to outgrow some stuff. While outgrowing doesn't always feel peaceful, sometimes it feels like chaos. It feels like, I don't know, it just feels like chaos because like I said, sometimes you've just been in destruction for so long and you're like, oh, this is peace, but it's not. Less tolerance of confusion, less patience for mixed energy, more sensitive to disrespect, more desire for emotional clarity. What I'm feeling isn't confusion, it's clarity, starting to reject old dynamics. Grounding sentence. I don't need to react to understand what I'm feeling. I can slow down and choose what I allow. It interrupts the emotional autopilot. I'm gonna talk to AR, I'm gonna show y'all how I talk to her. Okay, so I was talking to my audience and I was basically saying like the whole freaking family dynamic of just healing, and honestly it's such a good thing, the family system blueprint, because again, when you look at wealth, the blueprint is whatever they got going on, but sometimes it's just for pictures because not all healthy people do not go through things that could just also be their mask. But basically the family system blueprint, like how you and your family are. Do y'all talk about things? Do y'all do some? Are y'all real and raw, or are y'all playing games and playing against each other? Yeah, exactly what you're describing is deeper than just family roles. It's emotional culture of the family. When you look at family system blueprint, you're asking questions like, is honesty welcome or punished? Can people express emotional safely? Is there accountability, or does everyone pretend everything is fine? Can people be themselves, or do they have to put a mask? A family can look perfect in picture and still be emotionally unhealthy. The photos don't lie. Who is walking on eggshells? Who feels invisible? Who is carrying everyone's emotional? Who has to be the strong one? Who isn't allowed to tell the truth? That's why healing often starts with examining the blueprint you inherited. From what you've been talking about lately, I think you're noticing something important. Success isn't just money, a business, a real estate, or YouTube growth. Success is also becoming conscious of the blueprint that shaped you, so you can decide what part you're keeping and what part you're leaving behind. The family system blueprint isn't about blaming your family. It's about understanding the emotional environment that raised you. Did your family communicate honestly? Could people express emotions? Were people authentic, or were they wearing masks? Because the way we learn to survive in our families often become the way we live our adult lives until we become aware of it and choose differently. Okay, girl. Sometimes people will be trying to make it like, go to school, you know, like go to school. And I'm like, okay, maybe that just doesn't work for everyone. And I don't know, because like I said, I didn't really have a lot of resources growing up because I only got passed down trauma and tribulations that I only got, okay? So I'm still working within those, and girl, I'm going up. So I'm fine. Like, you know what I mean? I'm learning to be human. I'm learning to be myself again. I'm learning to shed all those skins that was conditioned so that I can play a role for whoever needs it. So I need to step out of that and play my role, because when everyone, I'm gonna die by myself. That's it. Thinking, because I'm like, oh my god, like I'm in the process right now of getting my shit. Like I'm so excited the fact that I can do this. Like I can do that. Like I don't know. I just was, something was like implanted in my mind, like, don't believe yourself, shut up, shrink, you're too much, like shrink, you're so much. And like honestly, I started to see, like, when I would be with men, like I would be with men who would like, oh, like stop acting cocky, stop doing this, stop doing that. How about you date someone around your league? How about that?